this is Melissa with the Stock Swoosh, and today I thought I'd go over a gap down play from last week. This was Thursday, October 25th. It was CROX. It was a beautiful, beautiful bearish gap. So let's look at it. Now, it's earnings season right now. There's 1,000 gaps every morning. There's tons of stuff to pick. How do you know what to trade? How do you know what to do? That's why I teach a class called the Golden Gap, and I look at 2016s to play in the day to trade. I look at 26 points when I'm waiting the gap in the morning to decide which one to take, which one to trade, which one is the best one to do, because there's so many to pick from, and I want to make sure I pick a good one. I want to make sure I pick something that, number one, is going to work, and number two, it's going to have a momentum move in the day, which this did. This had $1.40 move in a day for a $14 stock. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stock. It's a beautiful trade. This green bar here is one of the main reasons that I love this gap. Now, remember, I have a 26-point rating system. I went through every point and the gap rated high, but I also loved it because of this sucker right here. Okay? When this bar happened and occurred, there was a lot of buying that happened in this stock. Then it had a nice push-up and a rally. When the gap happened today and it opened at 1391 and it killed this whole green bar, and everybody had to get out. They were trapped. If they didn't get out, they eventually got out as the stock started to fall, which creates the more momentum move of going down even harder as it pushes under this area here too, because remember, it didn't open under this area. Am I concerned about that? No. Why? Because I know the gap's going to work. I have 100% conviction, and I get my confirmation as soon as it opens, and I'll show you that in a minute. The point was, this is a beauty. Some people look at this and they say this is a big gap down, and they can't take it. They wanted to do this. They wanted to rally. It's a gap into support, and blah, 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 blah. No. They say it's a gap under a red bar. These are the people that don't know how to really, really, really read charts in the way that I do, which is a reason to take my class, because I'm extremely good at reading charts, and you're going to learn that from me. It's technical analysis, but it is on an in-depth level, and here's a little clue right here today, right there. So let's go look at the chart. The 15-minute could not have been better. In a perfect world, it didn't trade any more perfect than it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bar drop. You get a drop all the way into lunchtime on this thing, and then it rallies back and sets up again. Rallies into resistance. 13, 14, 13, 13, 13, 15, 13, 19. There it is. Takes a sell setup right here, triggers, you're in. Stop over here, you get another drop into the afternoon until you run out of day. It was a beautiful gap. It was a beautiful trade. And you were up money as soon as the stock opened all morning. Take your profits, get a rally, get back in. Let's look at the 5. Here it is on the 5. Actually, the 5 doesn't look that great. I don't really play the 5, but I just wanted to take a look at it to see it. The 5 doesn't look as smooth and nice and clean, but I play the 1 minute. That's what I play, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this held the 8-period moving average. Look, if you trailed it along this, you got the move into 12 o'clock. All these things are pointing down. All these things are squishing down, and you got a nice drop into noon. All right, let's look at the 1. Also, really quickly, see how this had a continuation the next day? So it actually dropped all the way down the next day as soon as it opened all the way down into 1244. These things do continue. I don't know what's going to happen here with this now because it did have a huge move. Big gap down, big move, another move. It may bounce, but it's still a wonderful short. Let's look at this one. Stock opened and held $14 to the penny. To the penny. Drops hard in the first 3 minutes of the day. I would actually call this a swoosh. I would actually call this trade a swoosh, to be honest with you. Then it rallied up. I'm not so concerned that it dinged over 1404. Why? Because these are areas, remember? And it had such a big gap down. Then it had such a hard drop down here. I'm going to give it the chance to bounce into this area here, okay? This is what happens on these things. It did have a big gap down. When it opens and shows immediate weakness and falls hard in the first 5 minutes of the day, I have to allow it to bounce. Things don't go in a straight line forever. So I'm giving it the bounce, even 4 cents dinged over the high of the day. I'm okay with that. So this is a beautiful, beautiful trade. Let's just look here at the moving averages to see how this played out. I mean, this fell clean all the way down into 12 o'clock. There it is. And every time you could have lowered your stop down on every 1 minute pivot and followed it down. I play the 1 minute. It's a nicer chart for me. And sometimes the fives look really, really nice. That 5 did not look that great on this, but if you look at the 1 minute, I mean, it just acted perfectly because it held 14, dropped hard, showed you the immediate weakness and the strength in the stock that it was going to hold the gap, which was down. We're shorting this. And it broke that area on the daily in that first drop. Okay, this was 1385. This broke it. It broke it on the first bar of the day. 1385 was that pivot down there, that support area that it broke in the first minute of the day. Conviction, conviction, conviction. Conviction because you rate the gap, it rates high, you go through the rating system I have, you go through the 26 points, you like it. It opens, it shows immediate confirmation of weakness, holds the whole number, which is 14, breaks that pivot on the first 60 seconds of the day, drops, swooshes down, and you get a bounce. It does everything right. It's a beautiful trade, and when you get these, sometimes you get those second setups in the afternoon. Lots of times you get them on great gaps. You don't get them on every gap, but I'd say 50% of the time you're going to get them on gaps because 50% of the time they're going to have such nice big moves. And remember the market on Thursday, here's the 25th. The market came in too, but it wasn't a crazy move in. The market moved 70 cents on Thursday, but it wasn't like we had a bar like this or something, okay? The market helped us a little teeny weeny bit, but really the stock just was a good gap, okay? The market helped us a little bit to give us a little oomph. But these gaps should work on their own without the market, regardless of the market, and this thing did. And what I love about it is the immediate confirmation of the weakness. Immediate confirmation of the direction down and the break of this in the first 1 minute bar of the day. Anyways, if you have any questions, you can email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a beautiful bearish gap. This is what I teach. If you're interested in the next Golden Gap class, I'm doing a class on November 17th and 18th, which is Friday, Saturday and Sunday, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The cost of the class is $1,500 for the 2 days, and I will teach you in my class, number one, how to rate these gaps, what the 26 points are, to how to find them, how to play the swoosh, and then how to play these stocks on the day, where the entries and exits are, so you can get these momentum moves. Thank you, and have a great day.